Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Splash Sisters. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Mev.
And today we have a very, very special guest. Her name is Haley, and she's big on NBA TikTok. And you guys probably know if you're part of that. And her is Hoops with H.
Hi guys, thanks for having me on.
Of course, thank you so
problem.
much for coming on.
Wait, really quick before we start, are you guys twins?
Yeah.
Oh, you are. That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I remember everyone was so shocked when I told them.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know if one was older, if one of you guys was older than the other. But yeah, no. But anyways, I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm excited to get into it.
Thank you so much. And everyone says Mev looks older than me, but I don't see it. Probably because she's taller than me. I don't know. I don't even know.
Maybe taller and your hair, your straightened hair. I feel like straightened hair can kind of make you look a little bit older, but no, you definitely.
Yeah, that's true. Well, today we're gonna be playing Start Bench Cut with Haley, and we're also gonna be talking about our season predictions since it's so early on. Yeah, let's start. Mav, you want to read the first one?
Yeah. So for the first one, it's Donovan Mitchell, Paul George, and Devin Booker.
This one's hard. What do you think, Haley?
All right, we got Spider, PG, and Booker. And is this for this season only?
Yeah, actually, just in general, honestly. Who would you rather have, on your team or?
Okay, well, that changes it. Yeah, if it's who I would rather have on my team, I'd probably go PG, start PG, bench Spider, cut D-Book.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, but if I am talking about this season, I'm going to take... Man, it's tough. I think I would have to start Donovan based off the fact that he's available going crazy and healthy. He's going crazy. Playoffs, I know, can be crazy with him too, but the other two have issues. So, yeah, I guess if I had to say this season, I'm going to start Donovan Mitchell, bench PG, and I'm cutting Book still.
So you're not really high on Devin Booker?
No, I'm not a Booker fan. Actually, that's so... I probably shouldn't do that. That might be pure bias. I guess I would have to cut PG based on the fact that he's barely available. But Devin Booker, we've seen what he does in the playoffs over, consistently. He continues to... The Suns just they always plummet, I guess, is what I'll say. So, yeah, I guess I'd go Donovan, Booker, and then cut Paul George just based on the fact he's never available. What about you guys?
Yeah, honestly, you made some really great points. For me, it's tough because Paul George is a little older than both of them. So,
yeah,
and injury prone sometimes. But it's tough. But I think I'm going to start. It's hard because the recent playoffs, we saw Donovan Mitchell be the one not to really show up, especially during the next season. I mean, the next series. But Booker was good for the most of the playoffs. And Paul George wasn't there.
Yeah, he wasn't there.
But just in general, I think I'm gonna cut Paul George just because I think he's older, and I think the other two are just more they're better scorers at the moment and more efficient. So I think I'm gonna take. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start Donovan Mitchell, and she loves Book. I'm gonna bench Book, and then I'm gonna definitely cut Paul George. What about you, Mev?
Let's have it. What's your case?
Okay, I feel like one player in this bunch is way better than the other two, and that's Booker. Booker has
not way better. Stop.
I used to be a Booker hater, but it's hard now. He continuously just
low key. I feel like
in the playoffs.
No, even last season he was so he was putting up MJ numbers, efficient.
He was
reliable. I think he's
in one series.
Come on.
Wait, let me ask Mev, if you're a D-Book, fan, is that Devin Booker's team or is that KD's team now? Especially with the heavy lifting that he's been doing early on.
It's Booker's team now.
I agree.
Just because I feel like KD is just a lot of the time he just is a shell of himself. I feel like he used to be obviously a lot better, but now it's just you just look at KD and he doesn't have any aura anymore.
That's crazy.
He just
Are you guys KD fans or not so much?
I'm not a KD hate. I used to be a KD hate. I used to be every player hater, but
yeah.
I'm for myself from now on, I just don't want to hate on any player. I try to
can't relate.
No, because I used to hate on everyone, and I just feel I hate being a hater. So I never
It's
actually
exhausting.
hate on anyone, but people are gonna be like, "What are you talking about? All you do is hate on Twitter." But no. So yeah, I feel like
So
Paul
who would you start
George,
bench cut? Star Booker.
yeah, start Booker, bench Paul George, and cut Donovan Mitchell. I feel like Donovan Mitchell just isn't all around. Obviously, Paul George is a better defender, a better playmaker, better like scorer when he's
Yeah, but at the
hot.
same time, Paul George's defense is overrated. Like it's not as good as people think it is.
It's definitely not as good as it used to be, but he's still
But honestly,
the
I feel like
lockdown
Devin Booker
player.
and Donovan Mitchell are low key like a very similar player. Like I don't know if that's
But
just
Donovan's
me.
better. Donovan has a deeper back. He does play. He can play defense, and he has been more for the Cavs. So I would. But Devin offensively is just he has a superpower. It's just the fact that unfortunately his team hasn't really built around him to allow
Mm-hmm.
him to play in a system where it benefits him. I mean, 2 years ago, right? He was in that MVP conversation. He kind of like got in there late in the game and late in the season, but he definitely belonged in the conversation. I just don't know if that's going to come up again based off what we're seeing early from the Suns team. I'm worried about them. I'm super out on this Suns team. I have been since before they even went and got Bradley Beal. I'm just not a believer in it, but it's not because of Devin Booker. So I'm cool with that. I don't mind that.
Yeah, I think they're a little like I don't think they're the best team in the West. Definitely
No.
not.
They're
And
definitely up
also
there though.
that lack of a point guard. Like I know Devin Booker is probably going to be their point guard, but he's not a real point guard. Like you need a real distributor on that team, especially with like all those
I
guys
mean, come on, you know
that can get
KD.
buckets.
KD can be a point guard half the time. You have three offensive talents they got all three of them can play make too. People forget about how good Bradley Beal is. He was the point guard of the Wizards, so he can definitely be a
Who else
point
is
guard.
going to be Ish Smith? Ish Smith.
Hey, I like it. I like Ish Smith, but no, I feel you. It's just like, can they do it? Yes, but is it the best for them to be able to kind of like show their skill set? I don't know, but I agree with you. I think Bradley Beal, like, if he can be healthy and stay healthy, they can make something work. But that's just a big if.
Yeah, they definitely are struggling with injuries, but it's still early
Yeah,
in the season, so at least it's
yeah,
happening now and like not down the line. Where and
yeah,
they
yeah.
still have a lot of time to like gel together and everything and figure out what they're gonna do. But I'm
Yo,
high on the
well, Haley,
Suns.
you're a Warriors fan, right?
Yeah.
Well, do you think the Warriors are better than the Suns?
Yes. I know that they are. They absolutely are. And I'll tell you why. It's because one, what you just said, Mev, is like the chemistry is such a major factor in any contending or championship team. We see it with the Boston Celtics, who are number one, and we'll probably, we'll make predictions later, but they're one of the best teams in the East. Denver, they had the best chemistry, and it was so noticeable. And I think something that the Warriors have that it's honestly really special is having that same trio play together
Mm-hmm.
for years. And then you have Wiggins, you have Looney, you have these GP2, you have guys that have been here since their last championship, and then you add pieces that actually fit versus last season. You have Dante and you have Anthony Lamb and great players, but they just didn't gel. It never worked out. And so the size is always going to be an issue with the Warriors and something I fear, as well as, of course, the health of Chris Paul and Draymond and Steph. But if somehow they get to the end of the road and all those things are fitting together, I still think that the Warriors can win the ship.
Yeah, honestly, I think a major difference is the bench actually does look a lot better than last season, especially with Chris
Yeah.
Paul, Dario Saric, and I think like Chris Paul is actually like the perfect backup point guard. He's obviously the best backup point guard in the league, and he carries that second unit really well. So the Warriors
Yeah.
are a lot different this year than last year. So I think they're definitely one of the best teams in the West.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was a Chris Paul hater. Like, if you know any of my content, I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
I was like so anti, like the most
I've
anti
seen a
Chris
couple.
Paul. Yeah, yeah. Like I was like, I was actually angry. Like I understand the move of Jordan Poole, right? It was just never gonna work. The chemistry was so whack. But bringing in Chris Paul, it took me maybe 3 games, and I was like, all right, I'm sold. It fits. Like I'm not gonna complain. What do you guys think though? Do you think the Warriors could even get past Denver, the Suns,
No,
Lakers? I
I
don't know.
just think Steph Curry's back's got hurt, and eventually
Yeah.
it's gonna break because I don't know. It
Depends
was
what
just
kind
too
of Clay we're
much. Too
getting.
much. Yeah.
Depends what kind of
Yeah.
Clay and Draymond we're getting, honestly.
Wait,
And
so
Wiggins, because Wiggins needs to play like if Wiggins plays like his 2022 self, I could definitely see it. because he was like really good that year.
Yeah, but like you said, size.
Mhm.
It's like
But honestly, I don't think the size is crazy
Denver.
bad. Like Kevon
It's not
Looney
bad.
was out rebounding Sabonis
Yeah.
in that series last postseason, and Draymond is obviously like he's big too and can defend anyone.
It's a problem, but the thing, it's always been a problem. So it's not something they can't overcome. But it'd be nice if we went out and got a big. I mean, like, it would be nice to have like somebody on the bench that can alleviate Kevon Looney sometimes, versus if Draymond gets injured or something,
Yeah.
like we're kind of screwed. But yeah.
And with Denver, I was like, before the season, I'm like, oh, they don't look as good as they did last year. They lost some key pieces like Bruce Brown and
Yeah.
Jeff Green. But then I'm like, why do they still look just as good as last year? And they like the team is definitely not as good like on paper. And like I'm like, why do the Denver Nuggets have to be so good? Like
They have a good all around team. Obviously the starting five, but then they also have like a rookie, Julian Straw. Oh, sorry, I just stuttered. But they continuously just like get better, and the Nuggets are just. I still think they're the best team in the league. And they're probably gonna repeat, sadly, but
yeah. Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. I think that Denver, it's that chemistry, right? And their starting five, like the thing is, we were actually talking about this on Thursday. I think that the majority of them are all like that starting five are all going to be here for at least 2 more seasons, right? They're all on contract. So none of them have that fear of like, oh no, what's next for me? Yet they're still playing at a level that seems like I'm trying to play for that next big contract. Like they're willing to do that. Jokic, who, like dude is so funny. Like he comes in, like shows up, like it's 9 to 5, doesn't really want to be there, but yet he hoops day in and day out. And I just think like you can't hate on Denver. Like they might win again, and I won't even be mad. I just hope it's not against Miami. I hope it's like maybe the Celtics, or a little bit more excitement. But yeah,
no,
I do not want to see Miami in the playoffs again. But their Black Magic might win.
No, this season there's
okay, guys, let's go on to the next star bench cut. Trae Young, De'Aaron Fox, Shea Gilgeous Alexander. I don't know why I said his full name, but yeah, Shea, Trae Young, and De'Aaron Fox. Then the reason I grouped these people together, I think they're like on the same level, low key.
Yeah. Different skills, but yeah, for sure. Okay, so, I'm gonna probably get a little bit of hate for this, but I'm gonna start Shea. I'm gonna bench Fox, and I'm gonna cut Trae Young as of right now. I know that for me, Trae Young, a lot of his points come from the line. He can put up threes. Maybe he's the guy that's going to beat Steph's, 3-point record one day. I'll give him that. I think De'Aaron, his speed, clutch time, there's something special in De'Aaron. He has that superstar factor. Yes, and so what he's already done to this Sacramento team, and I think what he's going to continue to do is so special. But Shea, I got to start because one, he's been on fire every season. His stats are getting better and better. He's a leader. He seems focused on the game, right? Where he doesn't seem like he's off doing a bunch of in drama or all this or all that. Like he's focused on being the best that he can, and I think his skill set, and his athleticism and his size, like he could probably have the highest ceiling out of those three. So yeah, so I'm gonna start. I'm starting Brunson, benching Halliburton, and I am cutting LaMelo. And like I said before, obviously this is just a big one for me, is being available. I think LaMelo, unfortunately, just hasn't been able to be out on the floor. He's injury prone. Jalen Brunson has gotten his team further than either of the other two. And I don't even think you can argue he has more pieces than the other two do.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think Jalen Brunson is the one who can get other, like, can win more and, like, can carry his team more than the other two. Especially with LaMelo, I feel like LaMelo's play style is, like, it's good when he's making the shots, but when he's not, it's, like, really ugly. Because he also have bad shot selection, and his efficiency is a lot worse than both of theirs, Halliburton and Brunson's. Yeah, and I think Brunson always elevates his game can elevate his game above both of them. Because we've seen it, he was going toe to toe with Jimmy Butler in the playoffs, and he was putting up some of the best numbers by anyone in the playoffs last season. So I have to start Jalen Brunson, even though people might think I'm biased, but like, I just think he starts, and I honestly, I think it can go either way with him and Halliburton,
because Halliburton is like a 2010 machine, and he's a really great passer, and I think he's a better passer than Brunson. But yeah, and I think Brunson's a better scorer. That's why I think you could go between either of them. And as soon as LaMelo can like be more efficient, I think he could end up passing them, but we'll see. I'm starting Tyrese Halliburton. I think he has the highest ceiling out of them. He's definitely the best playmaker here. And then LaMelo, and then Brunson. I'm cutting Brunson.
Huh?
I just a Brunson hater. I think Brunson is extremely underrated. He has the ball in his hands like 80% of the time. He doesn't, like, what? Do you know freaking Julius Randle is on his team, who has more usage percentage?
Yeah, Jalen's a ball hog for sure, but if it's gonna get you wins, I'm taking that over. But I think you're right. I think Halliburton could definitely be. He's up there. It depends on what you need for your team because Jalen Brunson has that killer instinct.
Yeah.
He's going to close a game and get a win, or get a win in overtime or in the playoffs. I think Halliburton absolutely can. I just like to see him be able to score a little bit more, but like he's going to be consistent in what he does. So
I just think LaMelo has a horrible team around him. He's had a bad team around him. The thing is, like, Tyrese.
Yeah.
But if you like, obviously we all watch him play. He is just like when the ball's in his hand, just magic happens. Plus, he's a great
weird stuff. Jalen Brunson is a ball hog, but then what does that mean? Tyrese Halliburton.
Halliburton has the ball. He's better. He has the ball way more than Jalen Brunson. He's a way better playmaker too. No, he's not a way better playmaker. He is. No, he's not. He's yes, he is. Jalen Brunson was giving you like 35 points per game in the playoffs, while also passing to his teammates. So he was taking 20 plus shots. No, he wasn't. Yes, he was. No, he wasn't. Yeah, but when Zach LaVine takes 50 shots, you will jump up and down. He's never taking 50 shots. So, because
I guess something like I think about it is like, okay, when a player has the ball and then immediately scores. Like for Jalen Brunson, it's just point A to point B, right? It's the ball in his hands and then to score. Versus Tyrese Halliburton, it's point A to point B, the other player, to hopefully point C, which is even more of a question mark, right? So there's a lot more that has to happen through a playmaking point guard versus a scoring point guard. And so for me personally, I think both are just as equal. It just depends what you want for your team. And
Jalen Brunson is definitely a score first. He's definitely a score first point guard. Otherwise, because Melo and Tyrese are definitely like. No, the thing is, he's not, because he is also not selfish with the ball. Like everyone in the Knicks touches the ball. Like literally everyone. RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Emmanuel Quickly. Everyone touches the ball. That's what makes him so good, because he will still put up the stats even though he does not have the ball like the whole time. Like a lot of other point guards. But yeah, I think these three is like a really close debate. And LaMelo, I think, also is really forgotten because he's on the Hornets, so that's what I'm saying. But I think Brunson is literally like pushing 30. People act like he's like young. He's not. I think. No, he's not.
Yeah, that is.
I really think that LaMelo and Tyrese are like all around better players. For being honest, they're not. But they're not. She just hates the Knicks.
I guess they're what if, so it's what if. What? No. I mean, it is the Knicks. Yeah, that's I get it. But like for me, it's like what ifs are great to talk about, but what have we seen translate in real time with LaMelo? And unfortunately, free LaMelo, because I don't want to see it. I just don't want him to play for Charlotte anymore. They destroy their players, unfortunately, and the players have their own issues. But yeah, I'd love to see him play somewhere else. And just
I doubt he's on the Hornets forever. Like that team is a dumpster fire. No. They should relocate like to Seattle. And we're expanding.
Yes.
What?
Supersonic.
The league was expanding. They're adding a team in Seattle and Las Vegas, right?
Yeah.
What? Oh wow.
I think 2025
okay. So 32 teams, kind of crazy. 32 teams is crazy. Oh my god. There's an issue.
No, it's gonna be good though.
But yeah, honestly, I want to hear what like all you viewers. I want you guys to comment too, because like all these debates are so interesting. Let's go on to the next one. Nikola Jokic, Steph Curry, and Giannis. This is the funniest one because we're just debating on who are the top 3 like players in the
Is
league,
this?
kind of.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think pretty much. Is
Current.
this current or all time? Okay,
Well, then
current.
we want to
I'm gonna go with it. Current. Jokic is the best player, so I'm starting Jokic. I'm the biggest Steph fan probably in the world. I'm gonna put him above Giannis, so I'm benching Steph. I think what he's doing right now on a consistent level at his age, with the pieces he's given, compared to the team that Giannis has, that should be a lot better defensively and isn't. That has a lot younger players, but you know they're not. I don't know. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna have to cut Giannis, but only out of these 3. Like, it's 3 greats, right? But I still think Giannis is one of the best players in the league for sure. But coming out of the playoffs and the way they did, I think that's unacceptable. And I think the fact that Steph had to, like you said, Mev, carry the Warriors' entire team last season, even through a really, really harsh Kings playoff series. Yeah, I'm still taking.
Yeah, I feel like
Giannis.
now that's a good take, but a lot of people will disagree. Now you know how everyone is. So that would be considered a hot take, and I'm like with you, and I'm not, just because I feel like obviously Jokic, he's the best player in the world. Everyone knows that, even though Hana thinks that Giannis is the best player in the world.
Yeah.
So no, I don't. I think Jokic is the best. I mean, literally.
I thought, I'm not mad at that. Like, I think Giannis has athleticism and what he can do, like, for sure. I just think, like, just respect wise, Giannis or like Jokic isn't fun to watch. Like, you have to really get into watching Nuggets game to appreciate what he does. But now that I have, and especially after winning a chip, I can't dispute what Jokic is. Like, he is, like, you guys, we have to talk. Like, soon we're gonna have to be talking about, is he a top 15 player? Will he?
You
ever
will,
be a top 15
sadly.
player? I think like we're there, and it's crazy to even think that.
Well, people already have him. Jokic is like the best offensive center, like already, and he's not even like halfway through his prime. So it's we have to have some disgusting conversations because I know a lot of people. And he's not like visually like something people like root for, like Jokic for all time, because they think of like I don't know about more dominant people, but when I watch Jokic play, I just get mad. Why? Because I'm like, how can he be so good at basketball? Because everyone saw the Lakers series. Yeah, he was making shots like with the worst form I've ever seen, like this, like and going in. And I was like, laughing. Like, you know when you're mad, angry laugh? That was me because that at that point that's just what it was. Like they're the next dynasty. I feel like. Yeah, and I think Jokic is at that level that like Curry and LeBron have been at, where like they're just the best player. Like at every single like night that they play, like they can even have a bad game and they still are the best player in the league or the best on the floor on that day. Even though everyone is a bad game to their standards, he was still by far the best player in the game that day. And just elevating your teammates, I think like he just got Bruce Brown a big ass contract. Aaron Gordon looks like a near all-star. Michael Porter Jr. is going to be an all-star. Jamal Murray. CCP was I know our best role player in the league. Maybe that's actually he does not miss whenever Jokic passes to him. 100%. So that's why I think Jokic has that magic at this point where like no one could be above him. And definitely like Steph Curry and Jokic and LeBron are like of all time that people will make their teammates the best. Like there's no arguing that. So yeah, it's tough to say. With Giannis, I feel like the Bucks are stacked. I think the Bucks have a lot to prove this year, especially Giannis. Like the whole league, like everyone has a great team, but the Bucks, if you look at them, like come on, they have 2 top 10 players on their team, and no other team has 2 top 10 players. So if they don't get to the finals, then like that just shows a lot. Because let's say if you give Jokic, Damian Lillard, they won like 5 straight championships. So now we have to see what Giannis can do with Damian Lillard, because we all know even if like Steph got Damian Lillard, that would just be like 53s a night. Let's say LeBron got Damian Lillard championships. If Giannis can get a championship with Damian Lillard, then we have to have a conversation. 100% when you put it that way, I didn't even think about it. Like Giannis definitely has a lot to prove. Like you just said, sorry, if you kill him with Damian Lillard, like I know all day, he was coming off a 30-plus points per game season. So he's not washed, so there's no excuses there. He's not like on Chris Paul's level. Like he's not in that washed type of cat. Like Dame is still Dame.
No.
So yeah, if they don't at least make the finals, then I think I can agree with you. I think Curry, like watching this season too, he is literally getting better as he gets older. Like that's just crazy. I mean, that's why I think like it's not a bad take to have him at number 2, because like offensively he will give you like anything, and Giannis's two-way ability, like either of them could be number 2 and number 3. But I think no one else can be debated like to be in that top 3 area right now.
Yeah, I mean, people are gonna dock Steph for his defense always, and that's fine. Like, I understand it, but Steph always makes his teammates better and always has. The thing is, though, what you're saying, I'll give you my take for the Bucks. So I think it's gonna be Celtics and Nuggets probably. I think it's gonna be a season before Dame and Giannis win a chip. I think that they can. I just don't think it's going to be this season. I think when we talk about, I think as fans, like we always talk about, like, oh well, you got these guys, so now you'll win, like because they're the best. Like no, it doesn't work like that. Like you have to build that chemistry. You have to learn each other. 82 games should feel like enough, but sometimes it's not if you have injuries, and it's really survival of the fittest. That's what the championship is, right? You have to be healthy and a collective unit that gets along, that has no issues, that all want to win. And I think Dame and Giannis, I love that duo. I think they're very unselfish players and they complement one another. But I also think that defensively, I think they, like, not that long ago, they were ranked 29th defensively in the league. Yeah. And that is unacceptable if you're going to try to win a championship, especially in the East, right? It might seem like the East is easy, and it's definitely easier, but you got some really, some teams that'll sneak up on you, like the Knicks, like the Cavs. You got the Celtics. So I'm not the type of person to say if they don't win this season, they let it down, like they let us down. Like give it one more, and if they don't win by next season, then I think
but you know how everyone is, like they're gonna overreact. So say like, well, like I definitely agree with you. Like if Dame and Giannis don't even win one championship together, like he deserves to play under 100%.
Yeah.
So what's the next Stubbage cut, man? Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid, and Kevin Durant. Yeah. Okay.
Currently. Okay. Currently. Ugh, I'm gonna throw up because I don't like this. I don't like it at all. But I'm not a Tatum fan, but I'm gonna start Jason Tatum against my will. I'm gonna bench Joel Embiid, and I'm gonna cut. Who was the last person? I'm cutting KD. Yeah. So I'm starting Tatum because he's a two-way player. He's putting up 30 plus a night. He's been consistent. Now, when it comes to the postseason, that's a whole nother story. But I'm still gonna say he's better than Joel. And Joel has just been such a letdown, and it's not all on him. The whole Harden situation I've been out on since day one. I can see these things coming. Right? History always repeats itself. So I feel bad for what he's dealing with. I think he'll have a great regular season, but that and the fact that he always breaks down by the time playoffs come around. Obviously, we hope that doesn't happen, but I'm benching him. And then when it comes to KD, he's old, man. Like, he's not that same guy. I think he's still special. He's carrying the Suns team right now. But again, like, we saw what happened in the postseason with the Suns, and that's not fair because it was such a small sample size of games together where they play, like, 8 games before they had, the playoffs. But I just think it's time to evaluate KD on the level that he's at, and I think he's getting
I definitely agree with you with cutting KD. But it's the reason I group these people together is because they go crazy in the regular season. But you can't even lie, even with Tatum, they're playoff droppers to some extent. Mm-hmm. But it really, like, Kevin's a playoff dropper. No, obviously, I'm talking about recent KD. He's a playoff dropper. Obviously, this man has to found he's not a playoff dropper in general. Just like if we talk about last season, he was horrendous in the playoffs. Like, and obviously Joel Embiid was too. I think he's the biggest playoff dropper like in NBA history. Like, no one can go from averaging 33 points per game to like 18 points per game. That's like 15 point.
I could go on and on. That's why I cannot start Embiid until he can have like
No.
an elite playoff, at least one elite playoff run, like in one season, because he hasn't yet.
Series. Yeah.
And I'm gonna start Tatum because I think that I don't think he's a better like. I don't want to explain it because I think Embiid is a better player, but Tatum is the more like dependable player because I still take Tatum in the playoffs. He's been to the finals. He's been to the Eastern Conference Finals many times. Embiid has never been to the Eastern Conference Finals in his life. That's why I think it's disingenuous to put Embiid over Tatum because Tatum, even when he was young, he's been taking his team far in the playoffs. He hasn't won yet, but I think he will win eventually. So I'll start Tatum because I think his scoring is better than, not better than Embiid's, but it's better than Kevin Durant's. So yeah, that's my order. What you said, Haley. I think that's definitely my order. Yeah, so as soon as Embiid, like, I swear if Embiid had like an elite playoff run last season, everyone would have had him ranked fourth. But that's just how I'm going the playoffs is because it was just really bad. Yeah, I think this is the first one we all agree on.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely starting Jason Tatum too. That man clears KD at this point. Like, I don't even know why people argue Tatum and KD anymore, even us, because like they're on two different levels. Although KD is averaging like 30 points per game right now.
Yeah, like all time it's by far KD because what has Tatum done? But at the same time, like I wouldn't. And when you say like they're not all, you said recent playoff droppers, so yes, but I can't even put like hate on KD for last season because it was just you barely played, you came off an injury, and then so it's all about context. But yeah, Tatum right now by far the best player in my opinion, which is crazy.
Yeah, because Tatum did play well in the finals. At least he was in the finals. But
yes, yeah.
That said, Embiid.
They don't want to meet us again.
They should decline what he does in the postseason. Like I swear, Embiid would honestly people would call you top two for him if he just had one. If he was just good in the playoffs. Like yeah, because his regular season stats are even what he's doing right now. It's crazy, but we all know what's gonna happen. Like once the playoffs start. So I hope he just proves himself this year because he really has to.
And the scary thing is, for me, like Jokic is such like he's kind of just like a brick wall, and he's not as physical as Joel Embiid. Like Joel is way more athletic than Jokic, but the thing is that worries me because I think Joel's window is a lot shorter, or like I think it's gonna close sooner than Jokic's is, which makes me sad because what do you guys think? Would you rather see Joel? I don't know what his contract. I forget what's left on his contract, but would you rather see him leave the Sixers for less money to try and win, which we know can be very difficult, right? Or would you rather see him ride it out and they bring maybe another star?
I feel like if they wait for Embiid to get someone that helps him win, that's like never gonna happen. Like the Sixers can't. They tried to get Harden and that didn't work. That was probably his best like option, unless they like trade for Levine right now. But it's not gonna happen. Honestly, I think. Yeah. Dating back to a long time ago, I think they messed up by letting Jimmy Butler walk because they were one shot away from going to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think they could have went to the finals too that year. Definitely. So that shot really effed them over. But at the same time, like they still should have kept Jimmy. Jimmy was their best playoff performer in that run, and they really messed up because obviously we saw Jimmy like take the Heat to the finals twice after leaving. And I think things could have been different. Embiid could have went to the finals by now if they kept Jimmy Butler. Well, I think after that, I think they did fail him because he's putting up Embiid like crazy numbers, and I think they could have done better than Harden, honestly, because Harden wasn't at his prime. Like he forced his way out of the Nets. That should have been like the number one red flag because he just got to the Nets. Why would he want to leave so fast, right? Like, obviously, there was something wrong with him. But I think the more he sees other people like getting help and like other teams getting better, he's gonna like want to leave. I don't think he's gonna want to stay with the Sixers anymore. Like he's eventually gonna ask for a trade. I know for a fact he will. And I feel like if the Sixers fail again, they themselves
are just gonna want to rebuild. Like focusing our whole future on Joel Embiid when you already wasted so many years with that, it's just like, when will change happen? Probably never.
Who do you think is more likely to win a ring first, Luka
Luka.
or Embiid?
That's hard too, because honestly, Luka, because unless he leaves Philly, he's never won a championship on Philly. That's just never gonna happen in our lifetime ever. Yeah, because unless Tyrese Maxey turns it, unless they turn into Kobe and Shaq, that's not happening.
I mean, they're
Yeah,
looking
Maxey
more
is
and more
good,
like
but
it, but
he just does
yeah,
not move
I
the
mean,
needle
Luka's
like
younger
that.
too.
Like, I think honestly, we can even see frustration on Embiid a lot of the time, like with his tweets. Remember his tweets after what trade was it? Like, I forgot what happened. One of the teams got like, oh yeah, obviously it was a Dame trade, and yeah,
Oh, the Dame
and
trade,
then
yeah.
the Celtics got Kristaps, Andrew Holiday. The Bucks got Dame. And what did the Sixers do? They lost Harden, nothing. So I think
Nothing.
the frustration is just gonna get too much.
I know.
But hopefully he's not Dame and like wait till he's 30
That's a good point.
to finally leave. Wait, is he 30?
How old is Embiid? 28? 29?
Yeah, honestly, like I
He's
hope
29,
like
I think,
he
right?
doesn't wait too long because, like you said, his window might close. Like we saw in Embiid's early career that he was
Yeah.
sidelined a lot from injuries, but and like last year in the playoffs injured. He was pretty high injured. So yeah, Embiid.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Embiid needs another like actual superstar to play with. Damn, Embiid's older than Jokic and Giannis. I literally thought he was younger for some reason.
Yeah. So he doesn't have a lot of time. Yeah, they've done him dirty. He doesn't perform well in the the postseason, so it's just a whole mess. But I do like him. I feel bad for him. I think he's a fantastic player, but his legacy is going to be tainted because of his postseason performance, and that just sucks. Especially living in like the shadow of Jokic, right? They're in the same era. They're competing, but I feel like the difference is like this at this point.
Yeah, and at one point it's like, can Embiid even win as the best option on a team? I don't know. Like, definitely not.
Maybe not in the playoffs. Maybe not.
So the next one, Jordan Poole, Tyrese Maxey, and Tyler Hero.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
That's tough. That's a really tough one. I feel like, I mean, right off the bat, I guess I would say, I want to go two different ways. I want to say like start Maxi,
but
bench Poole, and cut. I can't even do that though because Tyler Hero's like been more consistent, right? He's actually won. He won Sixth Man of the Year, but Jordan Poole's won a championship, so I guess I'll just go out on a limb and say I can't cut. I don't know. This is really tough. I think I'll go start Tyler Hero, bench Jordan Poole, and I can't cut Maxi though. I'm cutting Tyler Hero, I'm benching Jordan Poole, and I'm starting.
Okay, so you're cutting Maxi? Or she's not cutting Tyler Hero. Oh, you're cutting Tyler Hero. I mean, I think Tyler Hero is starting the season off really well. Like, I think he's a walking 20 wins per game. And I think Poole is too. They all are, honestly. But I'm gonna start Tyrese Maxey because I think he has that all-star potential. And especially this season, I think there's a chance. Like, the Sixers are barely losing. He's putting up good stats. So I'll start Tyrese Maxey. And I'm gonna bench Tyler Hero because I think he's more consistent than Jordan Poole. And I'm gonna cut Jordan Poole. And but I do think Jordan Poole can like put up like some crazy stats for his Wizards tenure or however long it's going to be because like obviously with the Wizards and he has a talented scorer, so we will see like some big scoring seasons from Poole. So like it can definitely be interchangeable. I feel like if you put any shot choker on a bad team like Jordan Poole, like they're gonna put up numbers, empty stats, you know. Jordan Poole, people forget how bad he was in the playoffs. That's why the Warriors even traded him. He was absolutely, like, he wasn't even a basketball player. He was such an
Haley, since you're like a Warriors fan, I just want to know what
He has a
happened to
phone.
Poole because like obviously 2022, one of the best players on the championship team. Fast forward to next postseason, he's unplayable. Like it didn't make any sense to me because he was so good in the season prior.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, look, I remember when Jordan Poole got called from the G League. Then he went back to the G League to train. Then he came back, and that was a season where Steph was insane, having that crazy run. But because Draymond and Clay were both out, right? And Jordan Poole, we saw little streaks of like, oh, okay, he's special, he's got something. Then in that offseason, he's like insane. Like he comes back, he's fit, he's put on weight, he's practicing like you're just seeing reports of him in the gym, in the gym, in the gym, and that just showed like a level of initiative, right? That he was here to stay and here to win, and then of course we go on to see him help be a huge part of why we were able to win that championship. And so I have a lot of love for Jordan. The thing is, what happened, I think, was his ego that
Yeah,
got in the way, and I think anybody playing with Draymond Green, like that's why the Warriors work out so well because he's kind of Draymond's the only like big talker until Jordan got there, and then there was like a clash and how that whole situation went down. It was never gonna work. I think that scarred Jordan. I think that was embarrassing to incredible levels. It will not go away. People won't stop talking about it. I'm so done about hearing the whole Jordan Poole incident, and I think people need to chill out and let him just be. And I think moving to the Wizards
yeah,
was the only other option, right? And so yeah, so it's just tough, but no, I think what he can do once he gets his head on right again, I think he's better than Tyler Hero. I think he has a level of greatness and a level of skill that is more than just being a
but
cone like he was in the playoffs last season because he literally was. He just stood there. He was like a flopping around, like he literally was lost, and I think he just had no confidence, and he can't hoop with no confidence. So it's just a sad situation, but hopefully he can come back and be
yeah, honestly,
stronger.
he has
We'll
a
see.
ton of potential.
I
It's
don't
just
know.
up to him to like own it. What about that? I
Yes,
think he has
exactly,
potential, but
exactly.
as of right now, I think Maxi and Hero are better. And I think Hero is the best one out of the bunch. I think he's proved himself. He's won 6 men a year.
Yeah,
Even right now, he's averaging like 25 and 5, something like that. I think it's 22. 22, like 5 and 5, something around that, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think I think he's good. Like, he's definitely better because Poole, like, we saw him, like, he's just a shot chucker in my eyes. I'm sorry. As of right now, what do you think?
he definitely has a skill set. I mean, his ability to drive, his ability to get to the rim, draw fouls, but
Yeah.
he has no defense. He is a liability on that end of the floor, and he
Yeah.
takes terrible shots. Yeah, don't get me started. Like I screamed at my TV so many times, and he lost us games because of his bad shots. So yeah, I totally get your hesitation with him, and I don't know. Hopefully he gets it right, and hopefully Washington helps him grow and humble him and allow him to
Yeah,
build his
honestly, I
own
just
thing
did
for
not get
himself.
him. Like,
Yeah,
Steph Curry was on the court and he felt the need to take, like, shots. Even though they got a game-winning shot, I forgot. Was it against the
I
K?
know, I know. Yeah, there was one against the I think it was either the Jazz or the Pacers. I think it was the Pacers. There was some against the Kings. Like there's multiple games. You could probably list like five where he just took terrible shots or had a late game turnover with like
Yeah.
4 or
Yeah, the
5 seconds left.
IQ.
It's like what are you doing? Like
Yeah, the IQ. That's like,
you have no
I helped them win
awareness.
the championship, so
Yeah.
they should let it slide. Or Draymond punched me, so I could take whatever shot I want. That's their punishment.
Well, no, 100%. And like I believe in the contract curse. You're kind of seeing it with Austin Reeves where like when guys get paid big money, they like suffer, their game suffers. And I don't know if it's a mental thing or they're just not putting as much time in, but yeah, it can be bad for sure.
Yeah, you're right. So the next one is Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler, and Damian Lillard.
Kawhi Leonard, Damian Butler, or Damian Lillard and Jimmy Butler. Um
Yeah, current.
this is just current or this is
Yeah.
all time? This season? Okay. Ooh, this is a really tough one. I'm a huge Dame fan. I
Me
love
too.
Dame. I love all three of these players actually. All right, I'm gonna start. Okay, I'm gonna take this totality of from right now until the finals run.
Mhm.
I'm taking that all into account. I'm gonna take Jimmy Butler. I'm gonna start Jimmy Butler. I'm gonna bench Dame, and I'm gonna cut Kawhi. And I think Kawhi all time is the best player out of all these threes by far. But his knees are barely hanging on. Like they're barely hanging on. You add Harden to this mix. We saw them lose their first game. Some people don't think it's a big deal. I know it's a big deal. I know this isn't gonna work out. And unfortunately, I think this is Kawhi's either second to last or his last season in the league. So yeah, Jimmy Butler's proven he keeps getting a team that's an 8 seed team to the finals. His regular season, I mean, people have this narrative he can put up good numbers, and hopefully he will. But if it comes to the playoffs, I'm counting on him the most. And then Dame is just Dame. He's a great offensive player, plays a little bit of defense, but I have worries about the Bucks. So yeah. That's my.
Yeah, you see Kawhi, like, already he looks, like, unhappy. Like, he was, like, making some Kawhi's his biggest mistake in his career was going to the Clippers. I'm sorry, that's just my take. I think he could have won championships teaming up with other people. I don't know what the attraction was to the Clippers. Like, the Clippers are the irrelevant team in Los Angeles. Like, in California, they're the most irrelevant team. But yeah, I think that, like, teaming up with another injury-prone person, like Paul George, was not a good idea. They've blown a 3-1 lead in the playoffs, and they've never been to Western Conference Finals together, like, while they were both playing. It's just sad. I think he would have won a championship. Like, honestly, my take at the time was he should have stayed with the Raptors, because I think they would have, like, went back to the finals the next season, because that's how good I thought they were. Yeah, that's what my thing is. I think it was a huge mistake to go to the Clippers. What about you, Matt? What would you do? Start bench cut? This is hard. I'm still thinking. This is, like, really hard because obviously Jimmy just went to the finals. Dame came off, like, a really good season. And Kawhi was also balling before his injury last year. And starting this season, he is playing very well. It's like you said, Kawhi might get hurt again. And if he does, it's like... So... Yeah, we saw in the playoffs Jimmy Butler was hurt in the next series. He still willed them to win. I think out of these three, I think Jimmy's the most impactful at this moment. So I'm going to start Jimmy. And I think I'm also... Because obviously, I think Damian Lillard is probably the better player at the moment. Just because you never know what you never know what Kawhi you're gonna get. Because sometimes you get like robotic Kawhi, and other times you're gonna get like he looks kind of washed. So it's hard. But I think Dame is more of a threat right now because of his shooting ability, and he can just shoot it from anywhere. And he's the most clutch, one of the most clutch players in the league. So I think I'll bench Dame and cut Kawhi until I can see more of Kawhi this season. Just because we'll see, like, he just came back from an injury. So we'll see if he could still be that player and, like, play at it at a consistent night-by-night basis. But, like, if we see it, like, once in a while, like, you can't just put him in the upper tier players. He's going to have to show it again after coming back. Like Kevin Durant did. Yeah. Kevin Durant came back from his injury, you know? Yeah, because you can't deny healthy Kawhi is better than both of them. Top 5 player in the league.
Easily.
But he's really I'm gonna start. Injuries are sad.
But we're living in the present, and so it's hard not to like add who he used to be because he's so. Kawhi's one of my favorite. I love defensive players. Like they're my favorite. They're just so special, and he can do it both. Like he's an incredible scorer and an incredible defensive player. But he's just his knees, man. Like I just don't know.
Yeah, but I'm gonna start Dame because I think, like you said, Dame shooting, playmaking. Okay. Like your weather game. I feel like everyone like overrates Jimmy. Like during the regular season, Jimmy is not great. He's really not like as good as these other two players. No, I'm gonna bench Kawhi and cut Jimmy. Are you cutting Jimmy Butler? Yeah. the Heat, but crazy to do.
How can you do that to the person that just? How can you cut Jimmy when he like you had to first win games through the regular season to get to the postseason and then overcame like all the odds. I just don't know
Because
like how you could cut him.
people forget like that the Heat in the first series, yes, the first series against the Bucks, he did go off. But in the other two series, people forget that he was literally being carried by the role players because he did get hurt. And then in the finals, Jimmy was not that great. So, I don't know. I think Jimmy got a little lucky with his role players. Yeah, but you saw in the Bucks series how, like no one, like, the Bucks series was the best. Yeah, but you saw how he played when he wasn't injured. Like, no one can elevate their game like Jimmy does from regular season, because honestly, you can just say he doesn't even try in the regular season. So also Kawhi, it's not like the offense is all about very crazy. Who? Kawhi in the playoffs. Yeah, but I mean, if you're basing it off like Kawhi, like from that version of Kawhi that you're thinking of, sure. But at the moment, I think, honestly, if Jimmy was on any of these like like if he was on the Knicks, and the Knicks would go to the finals. That's how good he is. So that's why I'd put him.
Yeah, that's fair. I just think the guy that had the most recent playoff success, but at the same time, you're right. Like Dame didn't have a situation to prove that he could get there. And who's
Kawhi, yeah.
I forgot. Oh, Kawhi, and we all know Clippers aren't going anywhere. Like,
what do you think after the
Harden? Yeah, they should honestly.
What do you think
just
after
shut
the
it down.
Harden trade? Like, do you think they can get to the finals this year?
No, I didn't. I think they had a better shot before Harden.
So you think Harden makes them worse
than they do now? Yeah, yeah. Yes, I do. One, I'll tell you why. Because one, I'm so over Harden. I like Harden. Okay, I do. I don't like him anymore. I've lost a lot of respect for his game, for the way he's handled, acting like a child, like acting like a baby to get what he wants. I understand he was frustrated with Daryl Morey. They did him dirty, but that's something that's business. Like you make a little handshake with your buddy who works for the place, and the franchise said, actually, no, we didn't agree to that. You didn't hold your part of the bargain. That's business. You have to suck it up. And leaving 3 different teams in such a short span of time, it's a bad look. I just don't trust his work ethic. And now what you're doing with Russ is you're coming in here in a position that Russ took a very little, what is he making, like $3.5 million to go play for the Clippers. And he's been excelling in his role. He's been doing his thing. Yes, he has a million turnovers. Yes, he plays too fast. And, he has issues with his game. But I have a hard time with this 4 guys trying to build a super team. They just don't typically work out. I'd say like 1 out of 10 super teams actually succeed. And especially with this group of guys.
Yeah, and at some point we kind of have to like side-eye Harden, because like, okay, I'm a Harden fan, and I see where y'all are coming from, but like I feel like there is context for everything. Like the Nets team, Kyrie made him leave. Kyrie didn't want to get vaxxed. He ruined like the chemistry, and then Daryl Morey is a liar, like Harden said. He told him he's gonna get his money, and then he lied. So me being the petty person I am, I would do the same thing. It's just not a good look though, because like he was on the Nets for a short period of time. Didn't even give him a chance, because like fast forward a couple months, Kyrie could play again, right? Like he was able to play again. So he gave up way too quickly, because that team was special. Like they were an inch of Kevin Durant, huge foot away from advancing in the playoffs, right? So yeah, and then he didn't even get and then he requested a trade, which was kind of embarrassing, like right away on the Nets, and to the Sixers, and at least give the Sixers a year or more, and you request a trade again. And obviously with the Clippers, I doubt he's going to request a trade again. Like I doubt he stays here for a couple of years. Like there's no chance he stays on the Clippers out of all teams. But yeah,
no. Go to Taiwan. Look, who is the common denominator in all 4 of those situations? And also, if you want to say that and blame Kyrie and blame Daryl Morey and blame blah, 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 you also have to ask, well, KD didn't ask for a trade right off the bat. He stayed. He stuck it through. And Joel Embiid, like he did him so dirty. Like I would want to get out of Philly too. So I'm not saying Harden. Yes, context does matter, but when it's the same context over and over and over, and it becomes a pattern. Especially when I don't think Harden, like last season was actually great. He was good. Like I will say that, but when it's like your value isn't as high as it was when you were in your, your MVP seasons where you were playing with the Rockets. So it's like, do you really have that much to barter with and bargain with at this point in your career? And he got lucky. He got what he wanted this time, but Kyrie didn't. Exactly. He got sent to the Mavs. He didn't want to go to the Mavs. He got sent there out of spite because they were tired of dealing with this, his stuff. So it's just like, I don't know. I'm just kind of over Harden, but I totally, like, I know Harden fans still, like, see his point of view.
So I have like another perspective on this, because I don't know why it matters so much that Harden requests a trade here or whatever. The NBA has no loyalty at all. They traded the Celtics traded Marcus Smart in his sleep. So why does Harden owe any of these teams anything? Why? I
think it taints. No, you're
no.
No, you're absolutely right, Mev. Where it's not just a Harden problem. He's learned to kind of like tweak the system to his advantage. And again, that's business. You can't really be mad at him for that. But what all these guys like KD, Kyrie, Harden, what these three guys have done especially is they're tainting the quality of the league, and it's going to start causing guys to think that.
To plug the computer.
I'll wait.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're good. Oh, is it gonna die?
So, what do you think?
But yeah, I just think I think it's a problem in general where guys are thinking they can just like dip out, on contracts that they have, because what does a contract mean? It means you have an agreement with another team, another person, another franchise that you're gonna follow through on something, and especially with those three, they're not. So, but if you're right, it's not just Harden. He's not at fault. But he's definitely like the one who's been doing it the most recently. And yeah, it's disappointing, and I think it's gonna.
I've never seen one player request 4 trades worth whatever in like 3 years. Come on.
And get his way and go to every single place he wanted to go to. It's not just like he got sent to Charlotte. No, he gets what he wants, and it's because he knows people. Like Harden networks like no other. So shout out to him. But like. Yeah, I just think it's gonna cause the NBA to like lock down on certain things, and then.
No, I think Marlowe's awesome. God help, it would have been so funny if he got traded to somewhere like you said. Kyrie got traded where he to a place he didn't even want to go. Imagine Harden got traded to a place he didn't want to go. He would have not played. 100%, he would have not played.
No, he'd just sit on the bench in his street clothes and tweet and hit up clubs and do his thing. But what I think should have happened is go to Taiwan. I don't want to not see Harden play, but I think this is his last destination. But before he's out of the league, honestly, I'm a hater though, so I might be wrong. I'm really harsh.
Yeah, I don't care if Harden requested a trade to all to 28 teams. I'm still on Harden's side because, like I said before, it's like he deserves to be happy wherever he goes, and if he's unhappy with the. Yeah.
Does he deserve to be happy? Do they deserve to be happy when you get paid millions and millions of dollars, when a lot of guys are in positions they're not happy? They're doing it because it's a job. It's not all about feelings and emotions. Like, that's not what it's about.
Honestly, if I was getting paid millions and millions of dollars, I'd play anywhere. I don't care. But that they're just, different, obviously.
Girl.
And from this
But I see you, but Harden is a very emotional, if he isn't happy, he's going to make it hard on everyone. So that's probably, I agree, that's probably why they were like, all right, let's send you. Otherwise, it's going to be a continual issue. Let's try to make him happy. So I guess it's both, but I just feel like we're too, soft. We're very soft people.
Yeah.
All of us are. I am too.
Honestly, I also think it's I think he's a little delusional because he's like, I am the system. I'm not part of the system. I am the system, whatever. I think he saw the situation with Embiid and was like, okay, I can't be the guy on this team, but I could be a guy on the Clippers where Kawhi and PG are always injured. They're gonna need me, and I could be the main guy on this team. So that's why I think he also he just misses the time in Houston where it was his team and he always had the ball and put up numbers and everyone fawned over him. I think he just misses those days and That's why I feel like he wanted to go to the Clippers. And he also wants to win a championship because he knows that, like, that's the one thing missing in his life, you know?
Do you think okay, do you think Harden, like, if he's called to that position, and let's say PG and Kawhi get injured, do you think he can accept that role, and do you think he'll be able to thrive in that? Like, am I being too hard and saying, like, no, he's just there for the money, or like, do you think he truly in his heart wants to hoop and like show that
Yeah,
he's still
honestly, I
fine?
think he, like, was that, like, he was really upset when he wasn't an All-Star last year. Like, he literally was, like pissed off that he wasn't even an All-Star. I think he deserved to be an All-Star, but, like, you saw, like, he was like, how can I not be an All-Star? He just wants to keep being an All-Star. And I think as soon as, like, he'll jump to that, even with both of them playing, I think he still will try and be, like, that many guy, in my opinion. And I think the Clippers are, like, good,
Yeah.
but, like, not to the point where, like, if Harden's the main guy, then they'll go far because they just won't. But, like, why not? You have Kawhi, Paul George, and Harden. That's already, like, the best big three in the league. In order for them to thrive, I think that Kawhi needs to be the best player. And I feel like yeah, I think he needs to put up those, like, great stats. And Paul George needs to play, like, I think they all need to play up to their best. And to their best right now is Harden cannot play to that level anymore because he's not available anymore, if we're being honest. Because he's not the scoring machine that he was.
I think if
Like,
they're all
he would drop, like,
healthy,
50, like 10 straight times, but he can't do that anymore. Which is sad. I miss that Harden.
I think if the Clippers are healthy, they win a chip. But I guess the biggest thing is like they probably won't be, and I guess Harden's like a good like plan C to
Yeah.
have, but yeah,
At least.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
Though.
I feel
Only
like this
time can
season a
tell.
lot of players just have to prove themselves, like, a lot. Like we talked about, like Harden
Yeah.
is one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
for
do
sure.
Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brown, and Jamal Murray.
Anthony
Listening?
Edwards, Jalen Brown, and Jamal Murray. Okay. Okay. Um. Currently, I'm gonna.
It's
Oh,
gotta
this is
be
really
Anthony
tough.
Edwards starting.
I'm gonna. That's what I was gonna say. Start Ant, bench Jamal, and cut Jalen Brown. But people are gonna hate me for that because I know so many people, especially on like NBA Twitter, are out on Jamal. Which is I love Jamal Murray. Like he's definitely one of my favorite players. He doesn't play so much defense. So I know that's gonna be a strike. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. Jalen Brown was one of my favorite shooting guards in the league last year, but the postseason was really rough. He got injured. But Ant for sure has the highest ceiling. And if you guys saw, first of all, they beat Denver. And then what's the game that I just watched? Celtics. That game was crazy. And he was the one that just took over in overtime. And yes, and this is when Karl Anthony Towns is out because he constantly fouls out. If there's ever overtime, don't count that in because he'll be sitting on the bench. And yet they played better. It was more fluid. And Ant just he's angry, and I saw that coming last postseason where where they got out and he like threw a chair, like he was pissed, and I could just see that was a moment of growth for him where it was like, all right, this is my team, I'm gonna be better, and this isn't gonna happen again. So yeah, so that's my order.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think you haven't missed at all today. But yeah, I think Anthony Edwards is special. Like he's a superstar in the making, so obviously he starts here. The thing is with Jamal Murray, like
Yeah,
obviously he's like a beast in the playoffs, but like at the same time, we all don't underestimate how lucky he is to play with Nikola Jokic, right? Nikola Jokic elevates his teammates like no one else right now, and yeah, honestly, I think Nikola Jokic can make me look like an NBA player if we're being honest. Like I think I could start. Now I'm dreaming.
No, he definitely does. He definitely.
That's how
does.
honestly.
Yeah. Would Jamal be that same player on a different team? Maybe not.
Yeah, like I swear, like this man. I think Isaiah Thomas, who wants to be in the league, like he like like calls every team so they can give him a roster spot. I honestly think Nikola Jokic can make him can put him in the rotation. If we're being honest, but yeah.
Relevant.
Honestly, I don't want to undermine Jamal Murray. I think he's a
no.
really good, talented scorer. But I think him and Jalen Brown, because I think Jalen Brown, honestly, I think he would also be great next to Jokic and like be great in playoffs. I don't know. That's just how good I think Jokic is. But yeah, I think both of them are really close. I think you could go either way with them. Yeah, I'm definitely starting Anthony Edwards. I think he has a higher ceiling than both of them.
Yeah.
He is like the number one on his team, but Jamal and just Jalen Brown are just like obviously second options. So Anthony Edwards starts.
Yeah.
But then like Jamal Murray right now, he's averaging like 16 points per game. Like I just saw a notification he's missing a few weeks. Oh, yeah, it hurt. Yeah, his hamstring.
Well,
I-
then guess not. then
Yeah,
we're
it's kind of
benching
hurting his
Jalen
his
and
first
cutting
year,
Jamal.
first
Sorry,
All-Star
girl.
campaign. Yeah.
Dang, that's sad.
Yeah, I mean, he's an NBA champion, Jamal. He played,
Okay.
he put up, like, unbelievable numbers in the finals, but it wasn't just a final, like,
Yeah.
the first and second round, his numbers weren't even that good. It was the finals, when people are acting like he's already a top 5 point guard in the league, and he's not. He's not better than a lot of other point guards, even shooting guards. Like, I think Jalen Brown has done way more at this point in his career, and he just gets hated on because of his left hand. Like, people focus on the wrong things all the time.
I know.
Like, they didn't give Jalen Brown $300 million for nothing. I think he did deserve his contract. I think he deserved $100 million less. Hater.
I don't know. I think like I respect that the fact that they're keeping this duo, even if it took shipping out Marcus Smart in the night, which was really sad and heartbreaking. And I don't know if it's gonna work out, but I think like saying we're gonna invest in you as a duo, even when everyone else is saying like split this thing up, like they're not gonna do that. Even if it's paying them 300 mil, it is that is a lot, but like that's inflation too. So, yeah, so I think I might change my answer too. I think I'm gonna bench Jalen Brown either way. I think you're right.
Yeah, for me is Steph. It's like if I'm basing this off of who I would rather have on my team, and I think Jamal Murray is more reliable at this point. So I guess I'll cut. Even though I think they're both like just as good as each other, I just think that Jamal is more reliable. So I feel like how would I base mine on? I mean, it's like NBA Twitter, like in general. People turn on a player so fast. I never saw people turn on Jalen Brown that fast in my life.
I know.
People were saying that Jalen Brown was the best player on the Celtics. He had one bad series. Yeah, me too. I said the same thing.
I was saying that. I said that. And I believe it. I still kind of believe it, except after that postseason, like I can't say that anymore. But like, hopefully,
yeah, that's a young team. Yeah, I'm sorry. Jalen Brown is better than Jamal Murray. I don't care. I'm cutting Jamal Murray, benching Jalen Brown, and starting Anthony Edwards. I think that's the best. I think that's the right answer.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, honestly, for me, I think. Wait, I just had a great fart. Yeah, honestly, like I think this is a really good debate because I feel like everyone argues between the two of them. But yeah, let's go on to the. Let's do one more. Let's do one more.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
These are
good ones. It makes you think of one.
They're really tough.
Anthony Davis, your favorite.
Yeah.
Zion Williamson and Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
Zion's been a little underwhelming this season, but like obviously he's just coming back. But like, I have my answer. Zion at his peak physical form is like better than both of these people. The thing with Zion, it's always what ifs. It's like injuries after injuries. Like for Zion, I won't believe it until I see it. At this point, I won't. But
and I don't
never
see it. I don't think we are, which is really heartbreaking. Like I love Zion, but the thing is, one, he's so distracted with like off, like, not the whole like Mariah thing, but other things like whether it's getting in shape or taking things seriously. I don't know. I don't know him, so I guess I shouldn't say that. But I'll start I'm gonna start Anthony Davis. I'm gonna bench Bam, and I'm gonna cut Zion. And I'm not an Anthony Davis fan, but it's not because I don't like his game. He's easily a top 5 player, easily a top. I think he could be even a top 3 player if he's fully healthy. But he's never fully healthy. He doesn't have a motor that is consistent. He'll have 1 game on, 2 games off, 1 game on, and when it comes to the postseason, man, he's defensively, he's such a he's crazy. But I want a player that if LeBron retires, I want him. I want to say, can this guy be a number 1? And I don't think that Anthony Davis. Actually, I don't think any of these guys can. Let's be real. But yeah, start Anthony Davis. I'm gonna bench Bam because people aren't huge fans of Bam. And I said this before they went into the postseason last year. I said Bam is going to surprise everybody, and I think that he did. I think he plays the 5 too much, so he's a little bit uncomfortable. I'd like to see him play the 4 and, have them bring in somebody that can actually play the 5 and let him do what he does best. And then Zion, for me, it's availability once again. It's his weight. It's all these things that, I hope he can get in line at some point. But watching the game last night, he doesn't have that drive to take over a game. And in fact, I don't even think the Pelicans, they just keep suffering blow after blow after blow, and I'm starting to lose faith in them because they're one of my favorite teams in the whole league. I love Brandon Ingram. I like Zion. CJ is my dog. I love those guys. But Alvarado, Herb Jones, they're fire. But just to have them all on the court for a whole season, are we ever gonna get to see that?
Yeah, you're right. So for that, I agree. Zion, I'm gonna have to cut him, like we said, until we see it, which we might never see it. But AD, also what you said, I don't think he can be the leader of a team. The Lakers have been wanting, LeBron's been please, take over the team, and he still can't. LeBron wants it, but AD just can't, he can't lead a team to win. He just can't. He needs, LeBron.
Why is LeBron the best player on that team still at age 38? Why is he the best player? That's wrong. That's not how it should be.
Yeah, on the defensive end, AD is the best defensive player of the year. I mean, in the league. And I think he is going to win defensive player of the year. So, I'm putting him above Bam because he's also a lot better offensively than Bam. But Bam just had 20 and 20 points, 20 rebounds the other night. Bam is a force to be reckoned with. And also, Bam was the best player in the finals last year. So Bam can also...
He was. And how old is he?
20, yeah. I think he's 27. 20, isn't he? He's between 25 to 27.
Okay. Yeah, I thought he was 20, I don't know. But he's still pretty young. Anthony Davis is too, I guess. But I guess they all are, but they're all so injury prone too. So it's not Bam.
Yeah, Bam's 26, so he's still really young.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you guys.
Yeah.
Now let's do one more, but all-time wise. Starbench cut, Larry Bird, Steph Curry, and Kobe Bryant.
Okay. Right now, I don't rank people while they're still in the league. Even though I have moved Steph up to number 10, I'm gonna start Kobe, bench Larry Bird, and I'm gonna cut Steph. I'll be honest. I think Steph has a lot more to do in his career, and I think he can surpass Larry Bird. I'm not ready to have a conversation about between Steph and Kobe. I just don't think that's right while Steph still isn't finished. Job's not done, right? So
my order is start Kobe, bench Steph, cut Larry Bird. Just I think Larry Bird obviously has a great career, but
valid.
He also didn't have crazy longevity like Kobe did, and that's why Steph and him could be more compared because Steph has also had honestly a great run now with elite years, and he's also had a bunch of all-time great seasons like Larry did. And I think that Steph's peak is greater than Larry's peak because if you just compare their best seasons, Steph's since 2016, he averaged one of the I think top 2, top 3 greatest MVP season ever. So I think between those two, I'd take Steph over Larry Bird. But I think Kobe, as soon as Steph gets like at least like three more, like three more elite years, including this season, I think he can pass Kobe too. Even two can do it because he's just been so good for so long, and like we've never seen anyone like Curry before.
No, I agree. I think he can be the best, but I don't know. I just can't say it yet because we don't know if he's what he has left. Like if he gets another ring, that changes a lot.
Yeah, oh my god, if
And
that happens, I would want to hear the discourse that's gonna happen.
So we'll see.
It's not even gonna be like it's not even gonna be is he better than Kobe? People are gonna put him like top 3. If he were championship.
Yeah, I mean, people are crazy like that. I don't know. Like, people don't even want to put him over at Magic at this point, which is whatever. I'm fine with it. But once he's retired, I think we'll have some pretty big.
Yeah, if Steph can win like one more ring, because I think he's gonna be an all-star for a couple more years. But like one more ring would definitely put him above Magic. But right now, Magic. We're not even talking about Magic, but yeah, I have Steph at 6. I mean, not 6. If he has 5 rings, that's crazy. Yeah, because
He's gonna have the same amount.
4.
How many rings does LeBron have?
Should have like 10.
4, right? And if Steph gets one more, this was Steph's
This
era.
is why I don't want
and we
a championship. So
there's
this
no saying
is
it
why I
wasn't.
don't want a championship.
I know.
But
I know. I know.
But wait, who's your goal, MJ or LeBron? I love you.
LeBron. Who's your guys's? Are you different?
I'm more split on. No, I think LeBron is like by far better. Because what was MJ doing in year 21? He averaged 0 points per game, 0 rebounds per game, 0 assists per game. But imagine he even made the playoffs that year. Imagine if LeBron went retire. Shut up. I wish he didn't, just so we could know because the what are killing me.
Yeah.
Anyways.
For me, I don't think there's like a huge separation. I think they were both the best at what they do. But for me, it's like I didn't watch MJ. I didn't see his highlights. I didn't get to see him live and experience what that felt like. If I had, he might be my GOAT. But like LeBron is the only one that he's the best player I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So that's all I can go off of. But low-key, I wish I could have seen MJ. He was unreal. Like young MJ was fun.
Yeah, it's funny. Imagine them in the league at the same time. Yeah, it's not just young. It sucks for us, like, younger ball watchers, because, like, the old heads are like, you've never seen MJ play. Like, the best we can do is YouTube or The Last Dance. But, yeah, we could still look at stats and all that stuff to make our decisions. But being alive, I wish we were alive at that time sometimes. Okay, anyways, before we go, I just want to hear our predictions.
Okay.
Obviously, it's so early, but like,
my playoff.
So if you're, we'll send you these clips, and you can be like, "Hey, I said this from November," you know.
Yeah. No, for sure. Okay, so I'll give you my biased and unbiased. I'll give you my Western Conference predictions. I've got. Oh, actually, what the heck? I have. It's not even biased. I have Warriors Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. I hoped we'd see a preview tonight, but unfortunately, Draymond decided to dip out and GP2 is sick, so it probably won't be a great series. But yeah, I'm gonna take Nuggets and Warriors, Western Conference Finals. I'm gonna be basic and take Bucks, Celtics, Eastern Conference Finals, and then I have Celtics, Nuggets ending up going to the finals. I have Nuggets repeating, so Nuggets are winning the chip in 2020.
Oh my god, that happens. Like, I don't want that to happen. I really don't want that to happen. I want a new team to win, like, so bad. I want Dame to finally win a championship, honestly.
Like the Kings or something, like. Oh my! I would go. I'd pay money to go to like that Game 7. Dame is like, I loved it. I've met him.
Oh my god!
Like I've watched more. I live in Portland, so I've gone to like mostly Portland games, Blazer games, so like all through my life. So like. Yeah, I just want him to win a ring so bad.
Well, me too.
I don't think it's going to happen this season. But we'll see. What about you guys? Who do you guys have for final predictions?
So I have Bucks going to the finals and Bucks winning over the Nuggets, I think.
Okay.
Just because I think they're going to like get it together. I think they have a lot of star power. Like, I think they have like 5 like really, really good players.
Yeah.
So we'll see. What do you mean? I think I have the Celtics winning this year. I just don't have any faith in the Celtics. Like, they just disappoint all the time.
I don't either, but I think this season.
Yeah, because Tatum and Brown have had so much experience at this point. Like,
yeah.
So I just hope they pull it off this time. Like, I like Jaylen
But they're inconsistent.
Brown and Jason Tatum a lot. So, and Kristaps is
Me too.
also great. So, yeah, we pray. Just anybody but the Nuggets, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm a hater, but yeah, anyone with the Warriors.
That's fair.
Well, but I like Chris Paul.
Rude.
I like Chris
Don't
Paul,
count.
so if he won a ring, I'd be happy for Chris Paul. I love Chris Paul. I love
You do?
Andrew Wiggins. So
Oh. Really? Oh my gosh! Wow. Wait, you guys. Okay, why? Tell me why I'm such a, or like why I was a Chris Paul hater. Like, what did you guys see in him? Like, you saw the side that I'm seeing now, and I don't know why I was so blind
for
to
me,
it. I don't know.
I just thought it was
I don't
always
even
funny
know.
as hell.
Yes.
Like of how like smart he would be and how such like a teacher's pet he would be on the court, like to the refs.
Yeah.
But I'm also like a Harden
he
fan,
was.
so
It's
like
so annoying.
I really thought like I was a big fan in like the Rockets series, like versus the Warriors, and then when he went down, like I almost cried,
yeah.
like with the hamstring.
Honestly, I like his play style a lot. Just like the unselfishness and his mid range. I just found him like really entertaining. But you know, whenever the playoffs hit, like you can't defend that. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Haley. It was so much fun to have you here. Definitely see you again, hopefully, on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe like mid-season we can do a. We'll see how
Oh,
bad the takes are, and we can roast those and
Like,
see.
thank you so
See how it
much.
goes. But yeah, thank you guys
you.
so
Well,
much.
everyone,
I really
follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Hoops with H, and she has her own podcast too. So you guys give that a watch. What's the name? Sorry.
Yeah. So I work for Players Choice. I have a podcast called Fluent and Chill with OG and Sports Fluent. If you guys know them, definitely.
Well, of course.
On Thursday
Well,
night.
thank you so much, everyone. Like and subscribe. /SistersP. Thank you guys. Bye.